I was 2 hours from the end of my shift when I saw the black Mercedes crawl up to a stop sign on Sycamore Avenue. No plates on the back. Slowing down too much, then rolling forward just a bit. Not enough to ticket, but enough to make me look twice. Quiet neighborhood, big lawns, brick mailboxes, the kind of place where everything's supposed to match. I flipped on the lights. Just another routine stop, I told myself, like I had 100 times before. But the second I walked up to that car, something shifted. The window rolled down before I even reached the door. She was already waiting. "Good evening, officer," she said, voice calm, steady. She was older, maybe mid-60s, black, short silver hair, sitting upright in a black judicial robe. Not nervous, not flustered, just collected. "I'm Judge Clara Hastings," she said, heading home from court. Now that should have been the end of it. I should have checked her papers, confirmed everything, and let her go. But I didn't. Instead, I asked for her license and registration. She handed them over without a blink. Everything matched. Nothing was off. But something in me, it just wouldn't let go. I told her the car matched a report of a stolen vehicle earlier that day. Total lie. Nothing about her matched that report. "You can confirm it with dispatch," she said, still calm. I did, came back clean. Still, I didn't hand her documents back. I didn't walk away. I asked her to step out of the vehicle. She stared straight at me. "Is that a lawful order?" My hand, out of instinct or pride maybe, drifted toward my holster. "Yes." Her voice didn't waver. "Are you detaining me?" People had started gathering now. A few teens were recording. A couple folks stood across the street whispering. And still, she stayed in the car, hands visible, back straight, eyes locked on mine. "I've identified myself. You've confirmed this vehicle is mine. What exactly are you doing right now?" I didn't answer. "Because from where I'm sitting," she said louder so the crowd could hear, "you are now unlawfully detaining me." The weight of her words hit harder than any shout would have. One man called out from his porch, "That's Judge Hastings, man. You better think twice." But I didn't back off. Something in me, ego, training, who knows, held firm. I asked how long she'd owned the car. She said, "Since February. Certified pre-owned. Paid in full. Are you asking how I could afford it?" I said I wasn't. She leaned her head slightly. "Then why do I feel like I'm being interrogated about my worth?" Another patrol unit pulled up. Officer Renee Calder stepped out, saw the scene, and walked over. "That's Judge Hastings," she said to me under her breath. "I know." "Then let her go," she said. "I'm working on it." "No," she said, not unkindly. "You're not." Judge Hastings didn't say a word. She just pulled out her judicial badge, held it to the window. Calder nodded. "Everything's in order. Let her leave." I still didn't move. So she turned off the car, opened her door, and stepped out. The crowd fell dead quiet. "This is what it takes," she said, standing tall in her robe, "for a black woman to be believed." My hand twitched again toward my belt. "Don't!" Calder snapped. But I couldn't help myself. I stepped forward, reached out, lightly, to her wrist. The moment my fingers touched her, the crowd lost it. "Yo, she's a judge! Get your hands off her! Are you serious right now?" Calder stepped between us and shouted, "Let go! Now!" I backed up. No words, no excuse, just air rushing out of my chest. Judge Hastings turned to the crowd, steady as ever. "I'll be filing a formal complaint, and I encourage anyone filming to save their footage." Phones went up, people nodded. Nobody was yelling now. It was something heavier than that. She got back in her car and drove off, slow and smooth, like none of this had touched her. But it had. It touched everyone. By morning, the video had gone viral. Hundreds of thousands of views. Headlines read, "Judge wrongfully detained." Was it racial profiling? And my name, my face, was everywhere. Inside the department, nobody said much. They didn't need to. The chief just slid a copy of the paper across the table. "This is what we're up against." "You filed your report?" he asked me. "I did." "Doesn't match the footage. You're on leave. No badge, no patrol, effective immediately." "Is it paid leave?" someone mumbled. "Yeah, but don't mistake that for support." Across town, Judge Hastings was at home, out of her robe, drinking cold coffee, watching the video like a mirror turned outward. Her phone buzzed nonstop, friends, reporters, colleagues, but she didn't answer. She knew what had happened, and she'd always known it could. Her dad had been a black cop back in the 70s. Told her once, "They'll look right past the robe if they don't want to see you." Turns out he was right. The oversight hearing was packed. I sat in a blazer and khakis, no badge, just a name on the docket. The footage played. No narration. Just us. Her voice. My hand on near my belt. The silence when things got tense. When the audio mysteriously cut off. "Officer Miller," the chair asked, "you aware you muted your body cam at that point?" "I don't know how that happened." "Department logs say you touched the toggle." I didn't respond. Judge Hastings spoke. Not defensive, just resolute. "Every day I sit in courtrooms deciding if someone gets a second chance, knowing the system's already tilted. That night, it tilted again, and I had to carry it, though I did nothing wrong. The committee ruled 60-day unpaid suspension, mandatory retraining. One more slip and I'm out. Some thought it was too harsh. Some said not enough. But her? She didn't gloat. She just thanked the panel and left. Reporters swarmed her outside. "Do you feel justice was served?" one asked. She paused. "Justice isn't a moment. It's a practice, and tonight was only part of it." Later that night, I sat with a blank notepad labeled Bias Reflection Assignment. I'd torn it up 3 times, but this time I wrote one honest line. I didn't see her, not as a person, not as a judge, not even as someone with a name. And then I kept going, not to fix what happened, can't do that, but because silence won't save me, and it sure won't protect the next person. If you've ever felt like someone looked right through you, or if you've ever made that mistake yourself, talk to me. Was this justice? Was it enough? What does it take for someone to be seen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this story made you feel something, hit subscribe. Because voices like hers, they need to be heard. And sometimes, so do ours.